the U.S. is spending a lot of money on the war in Syria. This is money that could go toward American citizens and their public education. I mean, I remember growing up in Section 8 housing myself. It was very difficult. I raised myself from poverty and succeeded in college. The point I'm trying to make is that money needs to go to American citizens. I mean, you have a lot of money being spent for war. I think it was Tupac Shakur, the famous hip-hop artist, that said, we have money for wars, but we can't feed the poor. And here's a perfect example. Our country, America, is spending a large amount of money to fund an insurgency, putting weapons in the hands of people without education, criminals, what have you, and they're going into Syria, they're going into Iraq, and they're causing a big, big problem. I don't believe the U.S. wants to win this war. If you look at the map of the bombings, you can see that the majority of the bombings are not occurring in the capital city of ISIS, Raqqa, Syria. It's not occurring in areas in Iraq where ISIS are. The majority of the bombing sorties are occurring in areas of defense, areas that are threatened by ISIS. They are not occurring at the bases of ISIS. That indicates to me, and to anybody with a perspicacious mind, with an average intelligence, that what the U.S. is doing is it's on the defense. It wants to control the threat. It does not want to destroy the threat. When you destroy the threat, you go immediately to the basis of the opposition. Look at the map of bombing sorties, and you'll see the bombing is just to keep ISIS away from targets the U.S. finds sensitive. That is the ultimate goal of the U.S., to control the threat. ISIS is going through a process of controlling a lot of territory. And I would like to just say, in my opinion, I honestly believe this, that as an American, I feel like I want to ask my country, can democracy and republicanism, can capitalism survive without constantly chasing a barbarian? Because this wars on fascism, these wars on fascism, communism, and terrorism honestly make me recollect this poem called Waiting for the Barbarian, where it seems our country, our republicanism, democracy, capitalism cannot survive unless we're chasing a barbarian, unless we're chasing a ghost, unless we're chasing communists and terrorists. This is my challenge to my country, to America and all the West. I love you as an American, but here's my challenge. Can we exist without chasing a barbarian? Can we stop the wars and stop killing all these human beings? Because I'm seeing them here, while I'm living in the Middle East. It's not a pretty picture, and I'm challenging the West. Can the West survive without these wars, chasing a barbarian? Because that's what Rome did, and that's what Greece did. And we saw what happened to those civilizations and empires. They failed inevitably. And where is the U.S. going to go from there? And I'm tired of hearing ISIS is the threat. And they're not the threat. Israel has done far worse than any ISIS or any Daesh. They have made the largest refugee population in the world. They have killed much more people than Daesh. In the Gaza debacle, where Israel killed so many innocent civilians, I recorded the numbers, and I compared it to ISIS in Iraq in their 6-month northern Iraqi campaign. Israel killed more civilians in 1.5 months in Gaza than ISIS or Daesh did in 6 months in northern Iraq. I don't like Daesh. No Muslim likes Daesh. But no Arab is going to cooperate with John Kerry and U.S. and Western foreign policy until there is justice and peace in Palestine. And Syria is going to get worse. My advice is that the U.S. needs to work with Iran. The U.S. needs to work with Syria. Stop being a baby. Grow up. Be mature. Stop playing this Manichaean game of evil against good. Work with the power holders. Work with Iran. Work with Syria. Stop causing so much inhumanity and loss and oppression and injustice to these refugees that are the victims ultimately in this messed up game.